Before the Mini, there was the Minor, and before that, the Bullnose Morris. This is Oxford, and this is the famous factory at Cowley where the Bullnose was born. Lord Nuffield, that's him at the wheel of the Bullnose, inspired line after line of bestsellers which were built at Cowley until the 1950s. But by then, there was so much congestion on our roads that a new breed of small car was needed. Alekis, who had already designed the Morris Minor, then conceived a completely new type of car. Almost every old idea was discarded. To make the car as short as possible, he turned the engine sideways, east-west positioning, it was called. And then, in a stroke of genius, the gearbox was placed under, not behind, the engine itself. Front-wheel drive was a fundamental element of the design, as was all-round independent suspension and maximum space. All this in a neat little saloon car only 10 feet long. It was a packaging miracle. Although this was Britain's smallest four-seater car, it could swallow huge amounts of luggage. Like Doctor Who's TARDIS, it seemed to be bigger inside than out. Great in heavy traffic, but the Mini wasn't just a nippy little city car, and it wasn't long before families were taking their Minis far and wide. Soon after its launch in 1959, BMC was already building thousands of the new Minis every week at Cowley and Longbridge. Since everything except the engine was newly designed, completely new assembly lines had to be laid down, and the workforce soon got used to building the smallest and the most compact little car that they had ever seen. There was no space to spare and none wasted either. That's more new Minis to add to the list, now over 5 million and still counting. When the world's press first saw the Mini in 1959, they were enthralled. Many famous faces, Tommy Wisdom, John Bolster and Paul Frere all amongst them, were intrigued by the Mini's small size and its transverse engine position. But Alekis was always on hand with explanations. Although this was a private proving ground in Surrey, this was no rally, but the cars set off on trial at decent intervals so that everyone got plenty of space to enjoy the Mini's handling and the performance. Three or four abreast on this track, no problem. It was here that the press realized just how small the Mini really was, but how roomy and how well it handled. The first reports were ecstatic, and so were the drivers. So it wasn't long before the Mini found its way into motorsport. BMC was ready to prepare works cars for rallying soon after the Mini went on sale, giving the car its overseas debut in the Monte Carlo Rally of 1960. Those were the days when everyone wanted to tackle the Monte, starting from far-flung cities like Rome, Lisbon, Oslo, Warsaw, The Hague, Glasgow and Paris. All the routes joined up at Chambéry before the cars raced over the mountains to Monte Carlo and the winter sunshine. Paris, where else, was where the Works Minis started this Monte. That's the Morley twins in the first of the Morris badged cars, with another Morris Mini driven by Alec Pitts not far behind him, and Tommy Wisdom's Austin 7 making up the team of 3. Not big enough for a big boys rally? Don't you believe it. Maybe they still needed more power at that stage, but when the going got tough, the little Minis were ideal. They got grip where other cars floundered, handled like thoroughbred little sports cars, and gave their drivers a lot of fun along the way. By 1964, with the Cooper S already on the market, they were already fighting for victory, and 3 Monte victories lay ahead. The first and the most remarkable, perhaps, came in that year when Paddy Hopkirk beat the world. But Timo Mäkinen's 1965 win, that's Timo in car number 52, confirmed the Mini's greatness. It's no wonder that Rover put all the Monte-winning cars on display at Gaydon, with a reminder of later Mini exploits close by. Do you remember that the Mini starred in The Italian Job? All these enthusiasts do, as did Rover, who supported a mass return to Turin in recent years. There were years when the Mini seemed to be everywhere. And when everyone seemed to be buying one. Nuns, airline pilots, air hostesses, and especially pop stars found the Mini's uncanny agility ideal.